What's going on, Hood Nation? Nidge here, DFX. We are checking out the new Death Battle, Spider-Man versus Batman. I ain't gonna go off the extra numbers and this, blah, blah, blah. You guys already know what it is. Before we begin, though, go ahead and watch the original, though, just because I don't stop talking. Also, I'm gonna cut out the pre-analysis, so that gives you more incentive to watch the original and support them like we do on Screw Attack. And I forgot my Screw Attack gear today to wear, but that's okay. You guys don't care, right? Alright. And just a warning, I do talk a lot. And check out my gaming channel, Nidge.
The future. Everyone wants to see it, and why not? It has robots, flying cars, and of course, superheroes.
Yeah, the future still has those, but they're even cooler because of all the sweet gadgets.
Like Terry McGinnis, the Batman Beyond.
And
And Miguel O'Hara, the
it just seems like
Spider-Man from
Batman's just gonna destroy
2099.
him.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And
just
it's our
don't
job
see
to
what
analyze their
Spider-Man
weapons,
can
armor,
do.
and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
It's just, yeah, it's a squirrel match. That's
Terry
kind of how I
McGinnis
feel.
was your average futuristic high school student.
He went to future raves, complained about future problems, had a future girlfriend. Yeah, you know, the usual.
Until one
they
fateful
took the
day
feedback
when
about-
Terry got into a fight with a group of jokers.
Let the
What's he got
subtitles
against
sink in longer.
comedians?
No, a gang called the Jokers. You know, like the Joker?
Ah,
Oh,
but
wow.
with a Z, because it's the future.
Well, naturally. After possibly the most dangerous motorcycle chase ever put on television,
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's cool.
Terry's
He's got a
a
helmet.
lot
Terry
younger,
found himself
or
inside
shorter
an
than
isolated
Batman.
mansion owned by an
Bruce is
elderly
like
billionaire
6'2".
named Bruce Wayne. Here, he stumbled upon the most important revelation in his life.
Bruce Wayne is Batman! Oh, what a surprise! Well, more like he was Batman. He retired from crime fighting years ago, because, you know, age is a bitch.
Wait a minute, after decades of secrecy, a punk teenager just happens to stumble into the Batcave? For crying out
Convenient,
loud,
huh?
if he'd found my secret lair, he'd have been vaporized on the spot.
Yeah! Anyway, Terry's roller coaster of a day still wasn't over. Turns out his dad got murdered.
Dad?
Damn.
Bummer. So he did what any emotionally charged teen who wants to avenge their dad would do. He stole the bat suit.
But not the old cape and cowl of yesteryear. This was the latest and most advanced Batsuit.
Yeah,
Terry
who's
McGinnis
your boy?
didn't just become the all-new Batman. He was Batman Beyond.
He almost
You
looked
ever
like the
wonder
Ginyu
what would
Force right
happen if
there.
Batman got a hold of an Iron Man suit? It's basically that. And damn, he looks freaking rad.
The Batsuit's nanotechnology greatly enhances his strength and provides several thin yet strong layers of ballistic and environmental protection.
And he can fly. He can soar faster than a speeding future car, and he's really nimble in the air. Plus, he can always give his punches and kicks a literal rocket boost.
The suit
Nice.
sports over 24 other gadgets for combat and espionage.
Oh,
He
yeah.
has a wrist-mounted grappling hook that can extend over 50
That suit
feet.
can even, like,
There's a
resist,
cloaking
like,
device,
4,000
a lock
degrees or
decoder,
some shit,
finger
man. I mean,
microphones, climbing claws, an underwater breather, thermal and binocular
And
vision,
even the suit has
extendable spikes on his
autopilot.
arms,
It, like,
flashbang
takes-
grenades,
It
triple-weighted
takes
bolas,
over
a
him, even if
buzzsaw,
he passes
and
out or
even
some crap.
retractable tweezers.
Splinters are no laughing matter. And don't forget all those sweet, sweet batarangs. These new age ninja stars are even sharper and more compact than before, and they come in a variety of delightful flavors, like explosive, ensnaring, and electrifying. Terry's got a solid throwing arm and can even disarm multiple opponents with a single shot. But if he's feeling a bit lazy, he can always just use his arm launchers to fire batarang discs.
Also, when anyone gets in too close, the whole suit can act like a man-sized taser. The electric shock is strong enough to stun people spliced with animal DNA and short out heavy machinery.
But the tools don't make the man, Batman. Terry's a master martial artist with plenty of training from legends like former Robin Dick Grayson, totally real ninja Kairi Tanaga, and the former Dark Knight himself. Once he got over the kid stealing his suit, of course.
Bruce Wayne doesn't
looked like
just
a
serve as
vampire
Terry's
and
mentor.
shit when he's
He's
older.
also a constant source of advice and information on the go through his direct link to the Batsuit from the Batcave.
Good thing, too, since Terry's not exactly the world's greatest detective. At least not compared to the old man.
Bruce is extremely intelligent and an
that,
expert
he's
analyst.
6'2".
Plus, the Batcave has some very impressive technology. Not only does it host one of the most powerful
The
supercomputers
bottom
on the
one-
planet,
the
it's
bottom
also
one's
completely
priceless.
dependent on its own hydroelectric power supply and isolated network.
Still, I don't care who Bruce used to be. Having an old guy barking orders in your ear sounds annoying. Like your dad's always looking over your shoulder. Or at least I imagine, because I didn't have one.
Well, Terry is Bruce Wayne's secret son.
What?
In an effort to ensure there would always be a Batman, government boogeywoman Amanda Waller had secretly overwritten Warren McGinnis's reproductive DNA with that of Bruce Wayne's.
Like, he was just blasting Wayne babies? It's like all the fun, but you could get out of any child support case. And bonus, I guess Terry's father technically wasn't murdered. Good for him. Also, he's got all the benefits from Bruce's kick-ass genes.
Even before going through combat training, Terry was a skilled fighter, strong enough to send opponents flying with a single punch.
In the suit, he's strong enough to lift large I-beams and
That
this
boulder?
giant boulder.
He's even survived getting his leg
£250,000
trapped
boulder.
under Bruce Wayne's trophy penny.
What's so special about a penny?
Shrek.
Just look at it.
What?
Holy colossal currency,
You see Shrek?
Batman!
Did you
The
guys see
penny's
that?
diameter is easily 20 feet wide and is frequently dated from the 1940s. This means the penny is likely composed of bronze and weighs around 166 tons.
That's more than enough to crush all the bones in your foot. But not Terry. He was up and at 'em like nothing happened. I mean, this guy's tough enough to take a missile to the face and then fall hundreds of stories. And all he got out of it was a couple broken ribs. What's a penny as heavy as 33 monster trucks gonna do?
He's quick enough to dodge gunfire, skilled enough to defeat lizard people and the Justice Lords. In a newer suit, he could fire concussive pulse blasts and even outraced an intercontinental missile.
Oh,
which
is
could
he
reach
getting that
speeds of
suit?
up to 15,000 miles per hour. That's over 19 times the speed of sound.
He's still no Bruce Wayne, though. He's kind of a punk and doesn't have the amazing smarts or expertise of Batman Classic.
You don't quite have his magnificent brain, for instance. You do have his heart, though.
Maybe not, but he has accomplished feats equal to his predecessor, like fighting Superman and ending the Joker threat once and for all. Clearly, Terry McGinnis has more than earned the title of Batman.
Right?
You're pretty strong for some clown who thinks he's Batman.
I am Batman.
Those claws ain't gonna do shit.
So, here's an unfortunate
there we
spoiler.
go.
The year 2099 kinda sucks.
Plagued by a massive civil war between humans and mutants, the world fell into a dystopian ruin of violence and anarchy. The heroic age had come to an end.
But some people still wanted a sequel.
Enter Miguel O'Hara, a child prodigy turned super genius with a penchant for genetic tinkering.
Miguel's skills landed him a job at one of the
Self-taught
biggest companies
martial
in
arts.
the world.
Well, he's already at
Alchemax,
disadvantage there.
Where he got to work trying to rebuild one of the greatest heroes of all time, Spider-Man.
Specifically, he attempted to replicate the DNA of Peter Parker, the original Spider-Man. But like most of the 21st century superheroes, not much remained of Parker outside of stories and legend. Miguel had to
I
build his
suppose
experiment
dead
from
from old
scratch,
age.
starting with a single, simple spider.
Unfortunately, Alchemax didn't have the greatest job security. After a lot of bad blood and some spilled blood, Miguel wound up accidentally getting a dose of his own creepy crawly project.
Transforming him into the Spider-Man of 2099.
But future Spider-Man isn't quite the same as your grandpappy's Spidey.
That's right. Apart from the superhuman
Stan
strength,
Lee.
speed, durability, and improved healing,
That was
Miguel's
superpower
powers
beatdown,
are
wasn't it?
entirely different. Unlike Parker, he can't actually stick to any surface. He can still wall crawl, though, using retractable talons on his fingers and toes,
that's
which
gotta
also make
itch.
for fairly deadly weapons in a fight.
And he's got fangs like a vampire. If he bites you, he can inject a venom that can paralyze your whole body almost instantly. Also, he may not
That is
have
not a good
Petey's
looking
trusty
view right there.
spider sense, but his sense of sight, smell, and hearing are superfied. He can hear noises from miles away, see in the dark, and make out far off and
He's
fast-moving
light
objects
sensitive.
with
He's
ease.
so
In
screwed.
fact, his senses are so acute, he wears tinted glasses to keep daylight from
Yeah.
hurting his eyes.
Good luck with them
And like
flashbangs,
any
Claire.
Spider-Man, he can shoot webs from his hands.
Miguel doesn't need compact web shooter devices on his wrists. He actually has organic spinnerets in his arms, which create and release thick, durable strings of webbing. Because they're natural, these strings are chemically identical to spider silk, with a tensile strength similar to steel.
Wow.
Ew. Okay, the original Spider-Man always kind of grossed me out, but this guy's powers are disgusting.
Oh, that
I think
doppelganger?
Miguel would agree with you.
Well, yeah, one day he's just your average dweeb doing sciencey stuff like you, and the next he's got big lumps in his arms which shoot sticky stuff. Who wouldn't be weirded out?
Miguel saw his newfound power as a curse, a blight which turned him into an inhuman freak of nature.
But that didn't stop him from fighting crime, complete with his own Spidey suit.
His original costume was made from unstable molecules, allowing the use of his talons without tearing the fabric. He also wears a web-like cape made of light bite, which lets him glide through the air.
Oh, Light Bright! I remember that. Man, do they still have that in the future? And did they find a way to stop you losing those little pegs?
Light bite.
Yeah, whatever. The suit looks pretty cool, so I hate to spoil the mood.
Day of the Dead
but
costume?
It's actually just a run-of-the-mill costume from a Day of the Dead festival. No, really.
Though after meeting the present-day Peter Parker, Miguel received a much-needed upgrade.
Yeah,
This new
he got a
suit
whole
contains
suit.
synthesized unstable molecule fabric mixed with Kevlar, greatly improving his defense.
This suit can survive a shot from a howitzer artillery cannon. A common M777 military
Damn.
howitzer fires 92-pound shells at 2,200 feet per second. That hits with over 100 tons of force.
Miguel's even taken a hit from the Thing, a hit which shattered a tempered glass window and sent Miguel flying over 24 feet.
Well,
And the new suit
Miguel
has
hits pretty
explosives,
hard, or
hologram
Miguel.
projectors,
They
infrared
could have
scanning,
scaled
and
that.
it's even got wings and
But
rocket
then again-
boosters on the feet. Wait, that sounds familiar.
Miguel may be a genius, but he's at his best when he's working with his holographic assistant, Lila, or the Lie-Rate Lifeform Approximation.
She's basically like the future Alexa with a bunch of extra features. She keeps track
Nice.
of Miguel's life signs and surroundings. With Lila's scanners and his super senses, anyone would have a hard time trying to sneak up on future Spidey.
While
That
Lila
is
was
pretty,
originally
handy.
built as a home appliance, she can be stored on Miguel's portable communicator. She can act as an onboard lie detector.
So I'm assuming
and do
it's
advanced
gonna be
calculations
Bruce
to the 20th decimal in a
mouthing and her
millisecond,
mouthing
which
at
is
the same
flippin'
time to
amazing.
help each other.
Fun fact, Lila's appearance was based on Marilyn Monroe.
Not that anybody in 2099 seems to know who Marilyn Monroe was. Okay, seriously, how did they lose so much information in less than 100 years? Remember, kids, always back up your files. It'll prevent the apocalypse.
Well, lucky for them, Miguel got over his emo phase and started setting the future back on track. And he had the skills to do it.
He's quick enough to dodge gunfire, tough enough to take a shotgun blast to the chest,
And a
resilient enough
missile.
to tank electric shocks, and strong enough to rip a 20-ton turret off a tank.
More
Yep.
than that, he helped another Spider-Man keep this giant building piece in place. What even is that?
Likely some sort of antenna, but it also resembles the mooring mast atop the Empire State Building.
Back when everybody thought Zeppelins were the hot new thing. Because who doesn't like riding a giant flammable balloon full of explosive gas? Sign me up.
Not me.
Assuming it's composed of steel and roughly estimating its size compared to the Spider-Man on the roof, then comparing the Empire State Building's mooring mast, this should weigh, at most, 200 tons.
And he did half
Basically,
of it.
Miguel's a badass, and he proved it in the
Hulk,
most epic
29,
way
the
possible.
Wizard, and a wannabe
After
Thor.
rebuilding the world with Captain America,
Well, he did take
Miguel
out
inherited the most legendary weapon of them all, Mjolnir.
Although Thor's
That's
hammer didn't actually grant him its warrior
pretty.
powers, Miguel didn't use it as a weapon, but as proof of his authority. A literal symbol of the societal weight he alone could carry. With
Wow.
his dominance
He was
asserted,
that
Miguel
worthy.
created the utopian future a person could only dream of.
And you thought Peter Parker was cool. This Spider-Man is at the top.
So as long as he doesn't get flashbanged, he does have a chance. And that's the only fear I have. So
That's me, ready to save the universe and looking good while doing it.
all right, let's do
All right,
this.
the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
It's time for a death battle!
Oh shit! In the middle of the night.
McGinnis, keep an eye out. I've been seeing some odd reports regarding this part of the city.
Ugh. Uh-oh. He wasn't too happy about that.
Bozo, I was brooding there.
Who the shock are you?
Whee! Oh, here we go! Oh! Yeah! His senses are insane. We'll see how they go. Gotta go! Woo!
Right back at you, fatty.
Yeah, who I want to win is Spider-Man, but we'll see.
Hey, Lila.
It just seems
give
like
me
he
a
doesn't have
reading
a
of this vampire guy, yeah?
Of course, Miguel. I can't identify his tech or fighting style, but I
Oh,
can try hacking his suit.
there you go. Just don't get flashed, Miguel, and you got this, player.
He's too comfortable in the air. Try a different approach. Get to ground level.
Ah, he's got Batman on his side, though, Bruce Wayne.
I can't move.
Ooh. Try to get him to the ground. Oh! This is a Street Fighter 2 car!
Something's trying to hack your suit. Our new friend, no doubt.
How's the hack going?
Nice.
We're fast.
Get in close and finish this quick.
No
Oh,
problem.
no.
My fangs pierce his suit.
I think so.
Well, this is the big
I'm gonna
debate.
finish this myself.
I always said it could. Let's see if it can. Oh, the flashbang! He's screwed! Jump player! Ow!
Lila! Lila!
Oh!
And problem solved.
I guess that's one way to do it.
Oh, man. Yep. Pretty much everybody was right about
Tired
that.
of seeing people blow up. It's always such a blast.
Thanks to Bruce's counsel, Terry used his flashbang to take advantage of Miguel's sensitive eyesight
Yeah.
and his electric shock that can short out large machinery to deal with Lila.
Yeah, unlike
Right.
Bruce, the poor girl wasn't really built for combat. And while her hacking skills were top-notch, the isolated Batcave had the defenses to hold her off.
Even still, Terry's stats edged out Miguel's
So
in
we
more
said it.
ways than one.
I don't know. I'd
When
have
it
to
came
disagree with the hacking
maneuverability and
stats.
durability, they were mostly even.
Just
Both could
because
dodge bullets and
hacking
weave
from
through the air.
2099,
Both could survive heavy
there's no
ballistic
way
hits.
anything from
But
his time
unlike
could
Terry,
actually
Miguel's
stop that.
never outraced
There's no
anything
way.
faster than a Mach 19 ballistic missile.
For
Right.
physical strength, Terry had him beat too.
Yeah, he
Recall
lifted
that
a
boulder
heavy-
that he lifted underwater. This took place in Superman's
Plus
Fortress
it's
of Solitude
underwater.
near the Arctic, so the boulder was likely composed of sedimentary dark limestone, the most common rock type around that location. So we compared Terry's height to the boulder, applied the density for limestone, and subtracted the weight reduced by underwater buoyancy to find the boulder's weight to be 192 tons.
And he tossed it aside like it
Like,
was
oh.
nothing. Terry's peak strength in the batsuit has to be more than 200 tons.
Assuming Miguel applied his fair share when holding up that antenna, his best strength feat we know of is at max 100 tons.
So he's
But
twice
he's
as
a
strong.
Spider-Man.
But that's still
Spider-Man
not.
can lift more than that, right?
Not usually. Technically, Miguel's powers are so different from Peter's that we shouldn't really scale him to other Spider-Men. But for the benefit of the
Well.
doubt, let's do it anyway.
We'll check out two of Spider-Man's most impressive strength feats. The first is the time he braced a private jet while it was landing. Look
Nice.
at him. He's literally the landing gear.
According to Spider-Man himself, the plane's total weight was at most 115,000 pounds. Adding the thrust from a Whittle W1 engine, which this small jet is most likely to have an engine comparable to, this feat comes out to 58 tons.
Not even close to Terry's 200.
Wow.
And there was this one time where Spidey had to push way past his limits to lift what he offhandedly compared to as a locomotive. Since he could measure the plane, it's likely he's accurate here, but given the time period, that's still only 130 tons at most.
It's clear Terry
Oh,
had
wow.
a pretty sizable physical advantage. And just because Terry's mind wasn't as fine-tuned as the original Batman's
Yeah, Bruce.
didn't mean he's dumb.
Even more, Miguel never trained like Terry did.
Yeah,
Hell, he
that
never
really
really had
took
much
him out
formal
there.
training at all. But Terry was trained by ninjas, stealth artists, and other crime fighters to be a master in the battlefield. And since Miguel didn't have a spider sense, Terry just had to wait until the untrained future Spidey left an opening.
In short, while Miguel wasn't completely outmatched, Terry's superior strength, counseling, equipment, and training won the bout.
Turns out this Batman was beyond him.
The winner is Batman Beyond. Stick around, we're
All
about
right,
to
I wanna
announce
see
the
who's
combatants
next.
for the next death
Come
battle.
on,
And
come
if you
on,
want to
come
watch
on.
exclusive commentary on this episode, click that little box over there and start a first membership trial.
Try to grab one of these shirts too.
Right? Here we go. Season finale. Oh! Sephiroth! Woo! My boy! Virgil? Oh, man. Shit. They're totally going to give that to Virgil because they don't scale Final Fantasy characters right in this. They don't. Damn it. No, my boy. Oh, no. I'm going to root for Sephiroth no matter what. I'm going to try and see if I can find some information and maybe they'll watch my prediction just so they know that I mean business. You know what I'm saying? Final Fantasy characters just don't get represented right, you know, at times. They overlook stuff. So, but anyways, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed that reaction. If you guys want to join Hood Nation, here's your chance right here. Put the buttons over here. And like always, playlist to get your feet wet. If I ain't a cup of tea, y'all go find it. It's out there. Believe it. This is Nidge from DFX. And I'm out.